What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 60 RPM. We're doing a little video here, another vinyl update, or I guess the vinyl collection video. It's late at night. I just went through 2 different papers, and before I start the 3rd and 4th, I needed a break. And you know, we come out with content almost every day because it's fun, and honestly, it's stress relief compared to the rest of the shit I have to do. So, we're gonna go through a few more records. I'm gonna try and go a little bit faster through them this time. Just wanted to make sure I can get through a lot of them. I know that it's kind of a young channel, kind of small stuff, so probably don't want to see like 20 videos on the records here. So, with that, we're going to get right back into it. Starting off with, brand new, The Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me. The Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me. This is one of my favorite pop-punk records. This is kind of my, I don't want to say gold standard because I don't think many records ever get to the same kind of level as this record. Yeah, just plain black vinyl. Pretty sure it was a reissue. Yeah, came with lyrics thing, which I know was controversial for a little bit because they didn't ship it out with the original and then they promised it, and I don't know. It's kind of one of the albums where I appreciate how they aren't, I mean, they still are angsty, but they aren't letting it consume the music to the point where they sound like whiny teenagers. Next we have Daisy by Brand New. This is actually the second most recent album I've added to my collection. This is actually, believe it or not, my second favorite, or second most favorite album by them over Deja. I just think Deja sounds a little bit emo, a little bit whiny for me. Still love it. Still really like that record, but really liked the groove that they got on Daisy a lot more. It was a really nice, kind of raw album. Next we have the first record I picked out on my first day to go get albums, on vinyl that is. This is Broken Bells, After the Disco. This is James Mercer of The Shins and Danger Mouse. It's an interesting collaboration. A lot of people expected this to be really left field and crazy. A little bit disappointed by the fact that it wasn't, but I really liked it. Get a lot of really trippy art. Maybe not trippy. Space. You know, it's all psychedelic. Very interesting stuff, very chill. Yeah, so this is just a really great album. It's been something that I've loved for a while. Kind of got me into a lot of the more indie music that I've been listening to lately. Next we have City in Color, Hurry and Harm. This is a really good folk indie kind of album. I don't know if you can see that. It's got this really cool, the vinyl has a die-cut cover, and the 2 sleeves, as you'll notice, if you look this up digitally, white circles actually on there in the die cuts. Turns out that both sleeves come, this is disc 2 actually, it's black, and you can, dropping it out of there. We've got the kind of laminated circles on there that match the album cover, and then disc 1, which is the normal cover, has the white circles on it. So, really interesting packaging. I love when they get a little bit more intuitive with it, a little bit more active. It's a nice gatefold. They really did a good job with this package. It's cut at 45, so it sounds really clear. A lot of really nice bass, and his voice comes across very well. Next, we have my boy from Ann Arbor, representing. Actually, I think he's Canadian now. Colin Stetson, avant-garde saxophonist who plays these really crazy, long, winding pieces. He uses this technique called circular breathing, so he breathes in through his nose while also exhaling and playing his songs, which are these repetitive, really long, kind of crazy compositions. So it's usually just him. This album is recorded with no overdubs or loops except for the vocals that some people come and contribute. And you'd actually think that there's more vocals than there are, but he manages to hum through his throat while playing a bass line, overblowing and doing these different things to kind of make each repetition of this beat or this phrase different. And it's just such a crazy album. Really nice heavyweight vinyl. It's by Constellation Records, who always does their shit the right way. Love Constellation. Shout out to them. They're an absolutely great record label. One of my favorites. You know they're my favorites because they put out Godspeed, of course. This is actually Colin's collaborative record with his now wife, I believe, Sarah Neufeld. She's a violinist, and she was in Arcade Fire. I don't know if she is anymore, but they both have put out solo albums, and they decided to work together on this one, and it's really awesome. It was actually where I kind of got into Colin Stetson. A little bit more accessible than some of his other solo work, just because it's got that violin touch to it, or at least I think it is. It's a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more stuff going on. Lots of really interesting compositions here. Let's see. And last Colin Stetson record I have here that I'll show for you is the one that he actually came up with this year. This is Sorrow. This is him and a whole ensemble reinterpreting, oh god, Gorecki's Third Symphony, which is a contemporary classical symphony that was really popular despite being kind of at a really odd time for classical music. I think they do a really gorgeous job with this. They combine kind of post-rock influences with the classical style. Really interesting work. I really like the opera-style vocals and all that, and the combination of acoustic, kind of more reed and brass-driven elements along with the electronic guitar. Yeah, really great album. I really like it a lot. It's great for homework if you've been working on stuff like that. And then, oh god, okay, I'm gonna be a few records. This is Converge. This is their first 2 albums. Well, no, okay. Their second album, which is actually a compilation album according to the band, and then their second official album. So this is Petitioning the Empty Sky and When Forever Comes Crashing Down in their kind of combination package, Petitioning Forever. This is a great fucking album, or both of them are. Just absolute savagery. This is back when they were wearing a little bit more of the punk hardcore influence on their sleeve. Not so ambitious. Well, not ambitious. Not as experimental as some of their later stuff. Really heavyweight red wax for this. I got it on their store. Actually, no. I got this in Vertigo Records. Mentioned them in the last video. But was looking at it on their store for a while because you get both of their albums and it's only 20 bucks. It's a great package, especially if you're just now starting to get into Converge, because their kind of masterpiece, Jane Doe, has been out of print for a while, and it goes for anywhere from like 40 to 50 bucks on like Discogs. But they are actually repressing it. You can pre-order it now on Deathwish, Epitaph, a bunch of different other ones to get different colors, and actually I'll probably make a video about it because I'm super excited about it because I've been wanting it since I got into that band. I got the limited gold and black edition, so I'm just waiting for November. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be wonderful. Next we have a sort of B-sides collection of theirs. This is Unloved and Weeded Out. And this just shows how great the band is. This is a B-sides album, and it stands toe-to-toe with a lot of people's albums these days, like these hardcore punk bands that put out kind of the same sound. This goes toe-to-toe with them. It's got some really ambitious, kind of crazier sounds that I don't think maybe they hadn't refined enough for their liking earlier in their career. Yeah, found this one day at, I can't even remember where, I think I was out of town somewhere, and it was only like $8, so I picked it up. Next we have the first Converge record I ever got, which is Axe to Fall. This is one of their more recent albums. This is an album where they had a lot of guest musicians come in and work with them. It ended up panning out to be a really crazy and heavy album. Just really dynamic, all over the place, and some legitimately catchy riffs. Just the type of thing that sticks in your head, and you're just like, da 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 da. It just, it's so good. This is actually also one of the first records I got when I started collecting. Jacob Bannon does such a good job with all their artwork. You can see they have the full spread on either side of the gatefold. It's printed on the same sort of, I don't know if it's recycled, but the same kind of matte finish that a lot of Deathwish releases are on. Really solid album. Should pick it up. I think it's usually only like 15 bucks at stores. It's definitely worth the money. Next we have probably, if not my favorite, my second favorite Converge record after Jane Doe, All We Love We Leave Behind. This is their most recent album, and this package is amazing. As you can see, it's the shiny silver faces of the moon. Yeah, we get a little bit of reflection on there. Really awesome album. They did a really good job with the mixing on this album, made you feel live and in the room. A lot of really great stuff on this record. I actually picked this up used because it was a little bit cheaper, and after looking into it a little bit more, I'm kind of sad I missed out on the art book that comes with it. There's supposed to be a few-page kind of lyrics packet / artwork book that has a lot of images that Jacob Bannon created to go along with this album, and each song individually. Also, the vinyl edition has 3 extra tracks that you might not get on the normal digital version, so make sure to grab that if you end up seeing it. Probably the last record for this video is one you've seen before if you watched the Aubrey 5 records that she always plays when she comes over. This is Daughter, Not to Disappear. This is a record that came out this year. Wasn't super critically acclaimed. A lot of people kind of thought it was a bit lazy, a bit kind of cliche with the whole kind of indie vibe that's been around this year, or recently. And while I can understand some of those criticisms, I really enjoyed it. I found it to be a very pleasant, very nice listen that I have a lot of personal connection with, just because it's what Aubrey and I listened to a lot when we were starting off our relationship and stuff like that. So, this band has a special place in my heart, and even if the critics want to diss it, I love them. Got you back. So yeah, those are the records that we're going to go over today. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content or more vinyl videos. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of some of these albums. I'm really interested. If you have any cool editions of them, let me know. Thank you.